Hello and welcome, good people, to our Texit Coin overview. You are in the right place at the right time for the right reason. My name is Dr. Purpose, and I am too blessed to be stressed. I hope you are too. Tonight is going to be purposeful. But first, before I bring on our amazing presenter this evening, allow me to share a little information about myself. I'm a purpose identity coach, teen and parent intervention specialist. I love working with our youth, our teenagers, and families alike. Business owner, community advocate. I've achieved top ranks in multiple marketing companies and founder of Dr. Purpose Coaching. It is my honor to introduce someone who means a great deal to me, not just in business, but in life. I've had the blessing of knowing tonight's speaker for over 20 years. And in that time, he's been a business partner, a consultant, a strategist, a brother, right? And someone I've always respected for his wisdom and his integrity. And over those years, over those 20 years, he's worn many hats in service to others. An Air Force veteran, he served our country, a successful business owner as well, a dedicated marriage coach alongside his amazing wife, right? So if you have some challenges in your relationship, he's definitely the man to call, right? A community advocate for the voiceless, and yes, he has ran for Congress because that's how committed he is to change. We've done many business together, right? Over the years, some we soared, some that humbled us, right? And so when he called me about Texacoin, I said no, right? But hold on. I said no. I'm in a good place, right? You know, the kids are growing up, family's doing well. I said no, but over about 3 days or so, after looking at the videos, looking at a presentation similar to this, I said yes. And oh boy, I am so glad that I said yes to this opportunity. And so hopefully, after you hear all the information this evening, you will too. This individual, again, is a servant leader, someone who has an amazing heart. And I am proud to stand with him in this movement with Texacoin. Help me to welcome your presenter this evening, Mr. Casper Stockham.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Purvis, man. I appreciate you, brother. You know that we've
Yes,
been working
sir.
together for a long time, long time. Hey, folks, welcome to the call and stuff. And we also have a very special guest that we'll be introducing a little bit later. Um, Man, I'm going to get right into it because this is a phenomenal program. We were just on a call with the founder of Texit Coin, Bobby Gray, and some of the information I'm going to share with you, I think is going to really should start to get your gears flowing pretty good. Um, but before I get into the good news, let's talk about some bad news for a minute. The U.S. dollar, since 1913, when the Federal Reserve kind of started messing with it, it's been in decline. It's been not doing well at all. It's had some peaks and valleys, but it's really been in decline for a long time. And then in 1971, President Nixon took us off the gold standard, and it didn't get any better. It got worse. And now the dollar that used to actually mean something is kind of slipping. And the dollar only has a value of about 5 cents. I can remember when I was a little kid, I could take $2 to the movies, bring a friend, and still have change left over after the movie. Today, I took my daughter to the movie a couple of weeks ago, and it was a $60, $70 adventure. I'm like, whoa, right? So that's what's going on with the dollar. Now, the good news is crypto is on the upswing. And I mean, big time on the upswing. Now, a lot of these banks, JP Morgan, Chase, and some of these others, they were really dismissing crypto, right? They said it was a scam. They said it was fad and whatever. But recently, they have been getting involved in buying hundreds of millions of dollars in Bitcoin. They've been swooping up as much as they can because they realize the power of it. And now they don't dismiss it anymore. In fact, they used to tell their employees, do not buy Bitcoin. And now they're buying Bitcoin. In fact, if you are part of a major bank, your bank is buying Bitcoin. They may not tell you that, but they are definitely involved in crypto on a huge, huge scale. Now, Coinbase is a crypto trading platform. It is trading on the S&P 500. They joined the S&P 500 a couple months ago. And now Coinbase is breaking records on the S&P 500. They are doing phenomenally well, and it's really bringing crypto to the mainstream. And if that wasn't enough, President Trump signed the Genius Act into law. And the Genius Act really just puts up guardrails so that now the crypto industry can now even do more in the space of finance and really become a part of our everyday financial life. In fact, the Genius Act kind of ties the US dollar to cryptocurrency, to where it strengthens the dollar. It gives it some strength, but it also gives the cryptocurrency some legitimacy in the world marketplace. And President Trump said he wants the US market to be the top crypto market in the world. So if we continue the track we're on, that's exactly what's going to happen. And then last week, I believe, he signed executive order that allows for our 401ks to have a crypto assets in our 401ks. That's huge, folks, because now as you have stocks and bonds and mutual funds and whatever traded in your 401k, you can now put your crypto assets in there as well. That's huge. That's going to open up a whole new market for a lot of things dealing with crypto. Now, how many of you, by show of hands, actually were heard of Bitcoin back in the day, right? I know I did, and I didn't get it. When I saw it, it was like $50 a coin. And I'm like, who on earth would spend $50 for a mythical coin that can do mythical things whenever you get it? You can't spend it anywhere. You can't do anything with it but hold on to it and hope that maybe someday, right? And back then it was called a hobby, right? Back in 09 to 2012, it was a hobby. People were buying Bitcoin, and it was kind of the thing to do for the nerds or whatever. But then it started to turn into a venture. It started turning into where people were actually doing different, making money with it, right? It was a venture back in from 12 to 16. But then it started to scale up, and it started to have applications that were now using Bitcoin, and blockchain was becoming more known, and a lot of things were happening in that space. And now it's gone from scale up, it's going to now corporate space or status, and now it's become an institution. Like I showed you the slides before, right? Now Bitcoin is trading at $120,000 for one Bitcoin. When I saw it at $50 a Bitcoin, now it's $120-something thousand a Bitcoin. Now, that's bad news if you didn't take advantage of it, if you weren't paying attention or didn't get it like I didn't get it. And like even the founder of Texit Coin, he was right in the industry at the same time and didn't get it. A lot of us didn't see it, but that's okay, because what I'm going to share with you now, that it's time to restart crypto mining. It's time to start crypto mining for us. This is like a Bitcoin time machine of sorts, because we're going to start crypto mining, and we're going to use Texit Coin to do it. And like I said, it's kind of like a Bitcoin time machine, because we're learning or have learned a lot of the mistakes that were made during the Bitcoin era. And it's not that Bitcoin is gone. It's still there, but now it's an institution. So the odds of Bitcoin doubling and tripling and 10xing and stuff, those days are over, right? You should have got in when it was $50 a coin. Now it's stable now. It's almost like gold and silver, to where you can actually buy gold and silver to kind of as a safe place to store your money. That's kind of where Bitcoin is today. It's kind of a safe place to put your money. But the odds of it going to 5x and 10x, those days are over. So why Texit Coin? What makes Texit Coin what we feel is pretty special? And the first of it is based in the U.S. A lot of the red flags that I saw when I saw Texit Coin, I didn't. Um, I'm sorry, I didn't see the red flags with Texit Coin that I saw with other programs. When I first saw it and heard about Texit Coin, my answer was no, absolutely not. I am not interested in crypto because I lost money in crypto. I didn't want to lose any more money. I was good, right? Like Dr. Purpose said, no, family's good. I'm in the hot tub. Everything is good, right? But because of who invited me, my friend Dan invited me to check it out, and I had a lot of respect for him. I said, I'll go check it out. But I knew I was not going to get involved. In fact, I called Dr. Purpose, and I said, hey, I'm going to check this thing out. Don't worry. I don't think it's going to be anything at all, but Dan wanted me to check it out. So I'll go check it out. I left the first meeting and I still wasn't sold, but I was leaning in because I didn't see the red flags. And then after the second meeting, I told the guy at the meeting, I said, you'll hear from me again. I thought about it overnight, and then I was ready to cash my silver in to get a miner after that. And the reason why is because it's based in the U.S. It's out of McKinney, Texas. We know the founder. We were just on a live call with the founder. That's called transparency, when you can actually hear from the founder of the company to hear what's going on. The mine is crowdfunded, so it's not pre-mined coins. XRP is pre-mined. A lot of the other coins out there are pre-mined or whatever. So we are building a mine, and we're using crowdfunding methods to make that happen. Each mining position produces passive coins daily for the next 135 years. That's legacy wealth. That's something you pass on to your children. That's how powerful this is. The coins are held by you, the mining partner, in a secure cold storage wallet or coin. So you don't have to ask Bobby, can you sell it? In fact, he told us today, hey, folks, yes, hold on to your coin, but sell some. Just sell a little bit because we want that trading to happen on the market. But you are in complete control of your coin. Once that coin is mined, it's in your wallet. You can do whatever you want to with it. You can buy it, sell it, trade it, whatever. It's totally yours to do whatever. Once the coin is mined, it's liquid. You don't have to wait. That was another red flag on other programs. There was a seasoning period, or you had to wait 3 years to pull out any money. No, this one, the coin is mined today. You can sell it tomorrow if you want to. It's very liquid. That's another awesome thing about Texit Coin. It's crowdfunding option, so it helps you. If you want to participate in the crowdfunding, you can actually earn money with it. You don't have to do it. You don't have to participate in that. You can just buy a mine, up to 9 miners, and just sit on them. Or you can help us build the mining structure, the platform that Bobby is building in Texas. And I'll show you some of that equipment and stuff here shortly. You can help us do that and earn up to $3,000 per week, helping us do that. The founder, Bobby Gray, is an expert in alternative currencies and very transparent. I'm going to show you how transparent here in a moment. He also spoke in front of U.S. Congress over 10 years ago, telling them about the alternative currencies and really asking them to keep their hands off of the currency, because typically when the government gets involved, our taxes go up and things get messy. So Texit Coin is big on brand awareness. There are billboards and radio ads and airport ads going up all over the place, a lot in Texas, but now other states as well. I'll show you some of those images here in just a moment. And more retailers are accepting Texit Coin because people ask, what's the utility of Texit Coin? Well, it has a lot of utility because retailers in Texas and other places now, because we have over 17,000, I think 18,000 now, miners out there. It might even be 19. The number keeps going up every day. And because of that, it has more utility because those people are buying and selling and trading, and they have businesses that will accept Texit Coin. And the community is growing. Our goal is 1 million miners. Now, that doesn't mean 1 million people. It just means 1 million digital mining operations that are going on out there. Might be 750 people, might be 750,000, people, maybe 500,000 people. But that community is growing daily. When Texas Coin first started, or on the market, was first traded on the market back in October of 24, it was 2.8 cents. Today in March, well, not today, I'm sorry, in March it was 45 cents. But today, literally today, I have to change the slide every time I do this presentation. It is now trading at 284 as of today, but I just clicked on the link and it was a 290 something. So it is going and growing fast. In fact, we have 100x from the day we started to now, over 100x, folks. That's how powerful this program is. Now, again, we have a disclaimer running at the bottom of the screen the whole time of this presentation, because past actions don't prove, yeah, you know the phrase. Past results do not dictate or guarantee future results, and all investments have a degree of risk. So you need to know that going in. All right, so this is another slide of the a 1 year representation of the coin. And if you notice, it's a stair step kind of a growth that's happening. It's not up and down large swings. That's intentional. The way that we're growing this is intentional, and it's going to be a stair step approach all the way to $16 a coin by February. I'm going to show you that here in a moment as well. There's a picture of some of the mining equipment that we have in Texas right now. That's Bobby Gray at the top center, doing a tour of some of the mining locations. This is a new large storage unit container called fog hashing that we have, I believe, one of these right now, but Bobby just said we're going to have 35 of these large shipping containers installed at different locations throughout Texas and maybe even other states. These are containers you can walk into, and they have hundreds of mining servers that are installed in these shipping containers. Here's another picture of the first one being installed at a location in Texas right now as we speak. It'll be going online here in a couple of days. So people say, well, how real is this? You know, is there, you talk about mining. Okay, well, who's doing the mining and where are they doing it? Well, it's all done in Texas right now. And we have large mining equipment being installed, as you can see. And like I said, Bobby just said, I believe there's going to be 35 of these large units installed over the next few months. Here are some other folks that were visiting the offices back then. If we've blown out of those offices, you know, those were couldn't hold all the employees now. I think there's hundreds of employees. There's some of our leaders there that actually went down and visited Bobby to really touch and feel and make sure this thing was real before they got busy. This is an image of the cold storage coin that Bobby actually invented this process, and he sold this type of coin to other crypto people, especially like in the Bitcoin space, because if you have Bitcoin on your phone or on your computer and your computer crashes, you may lose your Bitcoin. Well, this cold storage coin kind of eliminates that. As long as you have your coin, you can recoup your crypto. So now we have the cold storage coin as a part of Texit coin. So once you have your cold storage coin, you want to keep it with your silver and gold to make sure you keep it safe. Folks, what we have is literally the goose that's laying the golden eggs. Texit coin is the goose. Now, would you rather have golden eggs that you buy and pray that the price goes up? Or would you rather have the goose that's laying those golden eggs and continues for the next 135 years? Do you understand that concept? That is huge. And I don't know of any other company that's actually in that space. This is a snapshot of our, it's not even our back office. It's a dashboard that anyone, even if you're not logged in, you can get to this dashboard. Now, these charts are all active charts. So you can hold your mouse over those images and you'll see different aspects of those different charts. You can check it out by the day, by the month, by the week, and so forth. The circle in the center, I want to call your attention to that because it says 47.93. That's million. That's how much money has come into Texit coin. Now he even shows, and you can't see it on the screen, it's too small, but it even shows how much money has been paid out in commissions, how much he's paying for facilities, how much he's paying for advertising. folks, I've been analyzing companies for over 40 years. I've never seen any company, I don't care if it's crypto or not, brick and mortar company that shows anyone that goes to their website their numbers. Typically, you have to go to a board meeting at the end of the year. You know, when they have the shareholder stockholder meeting, and at the end of the year they show you the company numbers. Bobby Gray and Texacoin, we show you the numbers daily right on the front screen. That bottom number again has already changed, but right now it was at 18,854, but that was a couple hours ago. That number has already changed as far as the miners that have joined Texacoin. These are some of the billboards that are in Texas advertising. I get a kick out of some of the numbers on these billboards because these were back when Texacoin was like 20 cents and 57 cents, you know, $1 and so forth. Now we're at 280 or 290, whatever it is right now. These are some images of advertising happening at the airports. I believe this is the Dallas airport or the Austin airport. I'm not sure. It's hard to tell. But we're advertising at all those airports now in Texas. Millions of people go through Texas all the time through these airports. So they're seeing the Texas advertising happening. In fact, every time I take a trip to Texas, I always wear my Texas t-shirt or my Texas shirt. And when I'm checking in for the rental car or just walking around the airport, people are looking at my shirt saying, wait a minute, I just saw a billboard with that on it. Are you in Texas? I've gotten several folks that have purchased a miner because of them seeing me with my shirt on in Texas walking through the airport. These are some images of the billboard, the mobile billboards that were going on in Vegas when we were there several months ago. Several of us won a trip to Vegas, and we were there for about 4 days or so, and these trucks were driving up and down the strip. So we took some pictures of those. It was just an exciting time in Vegas, and we were spoiled rotten, really. I mean, we had breakfast, lunch, and dinner, just meals all the time, all on Texacoin. They call it crypto rich. Now, I'm not crypto rich yet, but I've tasted it, and it tastes pretty good. These are some of the cars that have been wrapped, some in Texas, some in other states that are going on. And he just talked about 35 cars that they're going to be leasing for people for a year, wrapped, so they can just drive it around. And then there's some luxury cars that people have won the car. It's like I can't even remember some crazy number. It's like $100,000 car or something, and it's just unbelievable. Here are some images of us in Vegas. We were just hanging out at some of the different events. Again, just hanging out, eating, and enjoying life. This image here was kind of funny because I was asked Bobby to take a picture, and right as they're about to take the picture, somebody told a funny joke, and he laughed. So we got that great picture of me and Bobby. And then me and Dan, he's holding my book that I rewrote for Texit. So this is a screenshot of the process of getting the coins out of your Texit wallet, taking them to the market, and trading them on the market. Now, people ask us all the time, well, okay, you said the coin is liquid. How do I get my money? How do I cash in the coin? You cash in the coin by following this process. It takes about 40 minutes or so to go through this process. And then depending on what you have your coin on the market for will depend on how quickly it sells. So if you have it above the market price, it may take a while for it to sell, maybe a day or so. But if you have it right at the market price or less, it sells almost instantly. And then you can take that now and send it to your crypto wallet. And then from there, you can use your debit card. Like I have a debit card for my Coinbase, or you can send it to your bank account. This is just a screenshot of the DexTrade platform where you can buy and sell Texacoin. So if you really want to cash out your coin, you're going to need a crypto wallet. The way I look at crypto wallets is like it's my crypto bank account. So you have your regular bank account where you're checking in savings and so forth. And then you need a crypto wallet or a crypto account to hold your crypto. And you can use Coinbase, Crypto.com, Kraken, Trust Wallet. There are many, many different crypto wallets that you can use. There's MetaMask, and there's more than I can mention. Now I have a lot of these because I want to be able to experience all of them to see which one I like the best. But I probably use Coinbase the most right now. Now, as we build out the mine, we have a crowdfunding method that helps. As we help grow the mine, we get compensated for that. Now, if you tell somebody about a great restaurant or a great cell phone you got, like I got the new Z Fold 7, you tell somebody about that, Samsung, T-Mobile, they're not going to send me anything, more than likely. But with Texit Coin, as you help us grow this mine out through this crowdfunding pay program, you can actually earn some pretty good commission. Now, the comp plan is really simple. I'm not going to go into major detail because it's really only one page. I'm just going to tell you simply how it works. When you have 3 points on the left and 3 points on the right, you earn $1,000. You say, well, I don't understand that. Well, 3 points on the left, 3 points on the right, you earn $1,000. It really doesn't get any more complicated than that. When you have 6 points flowing on the left and 6 points on the right, you earn $2,000. And when you have 9 points flowing on the left and 9 points flowing on the right, you earn up to $3,000. And that's per week, if that's happening per week. But the cool thing about those points is they don't pass you by. Up to 9 points, just sit there and wait. So if you have 3 on the right, but you don't have 3 on the left, the 3 on the right just stay there and wait until you have 3 on the left, and then it cashes out. So you get a $1,000 commission. That's it. There's no hoops, no hurdles, no unlocks, just volume, structure, and results. Now, there are more parts to the compensation plan. We'd be happy to answer any questions you have about that later. I don't want to take the time to do that now. But this is one of the simplest ways to actually generate revenue aside from the passive coin growth that happens in your miner. Now, again, there's 2 separate income situations. There's helping us build the mine, or there's just buying the miners and just holding on to it just like you would any type of investment. Now, if you want to get started, you can get what's called a builder pack. This puts you in probably the best position for the growth of your mining operation because you get 900 mega hash. And you'll say, Casper, I don't even know what mega hash means. That's okay. It's like computing power. It's like a horsepower that's happening for your mine. So you get more coins happening per day that are put into your account. And so if you have a 9-pack, which is about $9,000, just a little under 9,000, you can have more computing power, and you also get more tracking centers because each tracking center can only earn a max of 3,000 per week if you are helping us do crowdfunding. So if you're not doing crowdfunding, then the tracking centers really are not applicable to you. Now you can do a tri-pack. It's about 3,000 or a little bit less. You get 300 mega hash, so it's less than the other, but it still has that mining power, additional mining power going on. Or you can do a single, and it has 100 mega hash. Again, each day, you're going to have those coins accumulating in your account, whether you tell anybody or not. You don't have to tell anybody, but those coins will be accumulating each and every month. And I think we have some questions popping up, so we're going to get to those here in just a moment. All right, now there's some specials going on. Buy 5 seats, you get 1 free. I just had somebody sign up with a 5-pack today, and he got an extra seat. So he has 6 miners and mining power going on. If you buy 9 seats, you get 2 extra free seats. Now this chart right here, this handwritten chart, I'm going to show you a typed out chart, but I wanted to show you this first. This handwritten chart that Bobby did back in December of 2024, and he wrote out where we would be based upon the market, based upon how many miners that were out there, based upon the liquidity and so forth that we had in the account, in the bank account, on where we would be at these different months. We are ahead of schedule of what he wrote out, handwritten chart. But let me show you a little bit easier to read on this one. It's the same chart, but it's just typed out. He said in August, which is where we are right now, we would be at 195. Folks, we're at 290 something right now, 280, 290. He said in September, which is next month, we'd be at 275. We're past that already, and we're in August. He said in October we'd be at 379. And the reason why he's saying this, and he wrote a paper explaining this. This is not by happenstance. It's a plan. And he said that if we have, in August, for example, if we have 2 million in liquidity set up to where it's in gold and other Bitcoin and other currencies, if we have that in place, then we should be at 195, where we're above that. And he also said if we have other things in place on the right-hand side, if we have a market cap, if our market cap is at a certain level, then a coin would be higher as well. So all this is planned out. So my question to you is, where is the best place for you to jump into this? Are you going to keep waiting until we get to October and we're at 375 or probably higher? Or maybe November. Maybe you like November, December timeframe where we're at 529. I saw this at, it was 54 cents at the end of end of April. 54 cents. And it has grown tremendously since then. So I didn't wait. I jumped in because I didn't want to miss out on the Bitcoin time machine. All right. So some folks say, yeah, but I'm just going to stick with my gold and silver and all that stuff. That's fine. But let me show you something. If you invested $1,000 in silver over about a year, you're going to get about a 15% return, give or take. Now, these are not exact numbers because, the market's always changing, but about 15%. If you took that 1,000, invested it in gold, it's going to be about a 10% right now. Now, again, these numbers can change, but right now silver's outproducing gold right now. And these are ChatGPT numbers. If you did Bitcoin, $1,000 in Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin is growing pretty good, but it's only about 134%. And I say only, that's still better than the stock market, but it's 134%. And we talk to people all the time. They have XRP. Trust me, XRP is a lot of people are putting money into XRP, and that's fine because XRP is growing with it 408%. That's really good. That's really good. Now, we're not saying not to do these things. You need to do all these things, right? Have a nice diversified portfolio. But let me show you Texit Coin right now. And this is based upon us getting to $16. So $1,000 over a year, if we get to $16, when we get to $16, that's like 1,150% return. That's double XRP. And if you get a miner, because it continues to mine that coin, that is even higher. That's like 1,628%. Folks, this rocket is going. Texit Coin is growing daily. Again, this is not financial advice, but I'm telling you, the risk is very low to get a miner. You saw you can get one miner for $995, one-time fee. You don't have to pay any more, and you're good to go. So I want to bring on now our special guest. Hopefully his audio is working. We're going to pray on that. But before I bring him on, I want to show you something, and then I'll bring him on. Just give me 1 second here.
Thomas Dubois is a passionate motivator and teacher.
My name's Thomas Dubois, and I'm a multiple business owner, father, entrepreneur, and keynote speaker.
He has brought many companies to the top and is considered a sponsoring giant. He has helped sales and marketing professionals around the country.
I've been there, I've done it. I was homeless, I was without anything, and God found it fit to keep me around for a while.
Thomas has failed and learned and has overcome to gain a livable income by caring about others' successes as much as his own.
I'm a regular everyday guy that's done a couple things. I've taken action and overcome. And I'm going to portray that into helping you to do the same, whether it's becoming a better entrepreneur today, whether it's getting started as an entrepreneur today.
Get ready to learn the truths you need to know to set correct expectations.
Teaching people how to make a livable income instead of a far-fetched dream income. We definitely got to stay in touch. We definitely got to connect together. This is about collaborating and doing great things together.
Get ready to discover how to create victory after victory along this awesome journey of life.
I'm going to help you to do the right things in business and to become just a little bit better of an entrepreneur today than when we started. So my goal is to serve you.
Please help me welcome your friend and servant leader, the man full of passion, Thomas Dubois, aka Tommy Boy.
All right. I haven't been able to call him Tommy Boy yet. That might be a little bit of, but Mr. Thomas Dubois is hopefully is online, and hopefully his audio is working. But let me do a quick little introduction. He's a multiple business owner, entrepreneur, keynote speaker. He's a six-figure income earner, published author, servant leader, and Texit Ranger, Mr. Thomas Dubois. And Thomas, are you there, sir?
I am. Can you hear me?
Oh my goodness, yes, sir. I can hear you.
I went and switched computers the whole bit, boy. They had Tommy Boy running. I ran up the stairs, grabbed my other computer, got it back down. Said, "Oh boy." Got my workout for the day. What a great presentation. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm not exactly sure where I want to start for a couple minutes here with you, but I know that intro video, when that was made for me, it kind of does lead up to everything today. It leads up to that I'm always looking for opportunity and good things. I have been in the crypto space and in the network marketing space for I was with the same company for 15 years and then ventured off into the crypto space. So I actually left a 15-year company to get into this space. And at that time, I made just a whole lot of money, but I bought my first Bitcoin at $900. So that'll kind of tell you, how long I've been around. I bought my first Ethereum at $37. And as we jump to today, I mined my first Texit coin at 42 cents. So at 42 cents, it being what it is today, that's been quite a jump. And so I started off with what we call a 3-pack, and I jumped it all the way up to a 9-pack prior to becoming a Texit Ranger. We talk about that comp plan, and I am building the comp plan. I do love I do love sharing in this space. But what I do know is the passive side of things is massive. The reason I like sharing it is because the passive side is so great, right? Yeah. The passive side is so great, and we haven't seen anything yet. The projection chart that you showed, I get excited every time somebody shows that, I mean, if we're going to take a coin that's grown since I've been involved from 42 to what, let me just go ahead and take a gander, and we'll just give a on-the-spot pricing on CoinMarketCap is $2.95.
Yeah. 42
cents to $2.95. Let's see what our year to 2000. We passed 2,000 year to date.
Okay.
So 1,000% year to date. I don't know if anybody should get excited about that. I'm just not sure. I think I'm gonna go kick back in the corner and be bored about it.
Right.
You know what? I can't help but share that. I feel that I'm cheating anybody in my anybody that can hear this voice. If I don't mention Texit Coin, I cheated that person, and that should be a rule for all of us, I think. But nobody has to share this, so that's a beautiful thing. Again, let me go back to, if the passive side is so great, sharing it becomes something that is honorable and that we should.
Yeah.
My grandchildren, I say this very often, as you both know, and have probably heard me say this, that if I was to be asked to crack open my grandchild's piggy bank to put it into this portfolio of Texit coin, I definitely would do that if I had the right permissions to do so.
Right.
And so they're all in, they're all mining, they're all making money. So my grandchildren, my kids, they're just very excited about it. Matter of fact, on the compensation plan, my daughter and her husband just got their first $1,000 check. So,
oh, sweet.
Yeah, that's always beautiful stuff. And if you knew how that matters to a one income household that homeschools their 3 children, that's pretty darn incredible. But anyways, here's been the rocket ride for me. I do share this. So I have accumulated in sharing this no less than 3,000 a week for 22 weeks. So I'll let you do the math on that.
Yeah.
Now I am making 9,000 a week because I'm maxing out 3 of the comp plan centers, which get with the person that got you on here if you don't understand that and how possible that is for any individual. So to candy coat any of that and say that I'm not excited about trying to fill up all of our mining farm and shouting this off the rooftops, well, that would be another thing that I would not be a real Thomas Dubois. Right. Thomas Dubois shares and markets and networks what he does, and that's just a period. And so this has grown in 22 weeks to a better income than there's only been one company in my life that took me a lot longer than this to get to that kind of income.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if 9,000 a week would change you folks' lives, but the truth behind that is it can even be more because we have the ability to take miners. And if I took $1,000 into a pay, $1,000 a pay, which I do, okay, I could transfer that into miners and hash power, which would make me 40, 50, 100,000 over time. Right. So we have options to even be smarter about our money here. And when you're maxing out 3 of the pay centers, you actually could take one of them and make them hash power. Okay, right? So 3,000, and the other 2 you can get cash or whatever you want. So that's a little bit of advanced stuff there. But I think it's important to hear the numbers. I don't know, some people get offended by that. Well, this guy, sure is proud. Well, I am. It's changing my family's life. And we started off in this with some things happening in my household that were very costly, upwards of 60,000 in damage that was done. And we now don't have to worry about that. All of those bills are paid from that upgrade. So anyways, let me be quiet for a minute. I don't know exactly, maybe there's something you guys want to pull out of me that we do events all the time, and it's been a pleasure having you guys at those events. Yes, and also I just want to edify the fact that these 2 gentlemen in front of you are taking this to the top, so you probably want to grab their coattails and run with them. So I'm pretty excited about that for you guys.
We have a couple of questions, Tom, and one of them is, when I was on the call today, I already had the sense of urgency, but I got even more of a sense of urgency because it's starting to move faster and faster. And initially, in April, I was thinking it'd be 2 years or something, right? Now I was thinking we got a year, maybe, or less. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Sure. Well, a couple of things happened today that made me have that same feeling as the question. And that was that we had a YouTube interview that had, in the middle of the day, that had over 1,000 people live on it.
Yeah.
Now you tell me there's not some interested people here. Yeah. The truth is, many of those people that were live, it's because they don't have to have a job anymore. Right. Whoa. Imagine that. Imagine that. Son of a gun.
I can imagine.
A lot of fun.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Well, so that's one thing, when you see that happening, but we also know we haven't even hit mass growth in
Right.
from a marketing standpoint, but we're on that tipping point.
Yeah.
But when you're having, everybody saw the comp plan 9 and 9, if our week starts on Sunday and Sunday morning you have a 9 and 9, something might be telling you that this thing's working, right?
Yeah.
That's some exciting people coming in. But I know that the projection that I heard last time was 2 years when I first started, and I know that we have watched that progress and be blown out of the charts because of the million hash power, million hash power being sold. It is, people aren't buying one, they're buying 9. Now they're buying upwards of 27, and they're buying it as quick as they can get it. And so you're right. I don't know how to express that anymore than if something's working, people get involved, and then people do what you do. So you buy a 9, everybody's buying the 9. It ain't going to take too many people to get up to that's 900 hash power. Ain't going to take a whole lot more to get to that million. Right. And so that's kind of my input on that one.
One of the questions, Tom, was like for a brand new person coming on board, this is a lot to take in for somebody brand new, right? So what advice would you give somebody brand new? How can they really just take this to the next level? I mean, what would you suggest they do?
Okay, some people might not like some of my answers, but ignorance on fire is something special.
Yeah,
ignorance on fire is something special. Paralysis of analysis is not very special. When you start to have to know how the mining works, how everything works, what's the ins and outs of blockchain. Is this like every other kind of mining? It's not like every other kind of mining. And we have the best equipment that is out there right now.
Right.
And we have an owner that's thoroughly transparent on your back office. So my suggestion is letting the tools work for you if you're sharing it.
Right. Okay?
If you're sharing it, letting the tools work for you and not trying to be the expert. Because that trying to be the expert, your friends know that you're not an expert at blockchain technology.
Right.
See, if I started to go, well, the gigahertz of the gigaburgers and the bigger gigaburger hertz, my people would run for the hills, and I'm being kind of serious. I tell them straight up, hey, I don't know, but watch this video. And if you have any questions, go to help.mindtxc.com. If you got any questions, go to help.mindtxc.com. I let the tools do the work because everybody sees it. And really, literally, CoinMarketCap does all the selling for somebody who want to share it.
Right.
When you look here and you look at the bottom of it and it says 2,000% year to date, please, without thinking I'm being facetious here, who doesn't want that a part of their portfolio in 2025?
Yeah.
I don't care if it's $1,000. Where are you going to get 2,000 a year-to-date return on anything you put into that? And that's why the truth is people are trying to find ways to get more hash power. More hash power.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's kind of my thing is people are overdoing it, overthinking it, while others are sharing the videos, sharing the tools, and making a ton of money. I didn't talk to anybody to get to my first 3,000. I didn't say a word to them. Besides Andrea, I said, just sign up.
Right. I have two sharing stories. So my daughter, who is on the call tonight, she's an inspiration to me, even though she doesn't realize it, because she says she wanted to make some money. And I said, well, then you need to be in Texit and I can help you. And I said, here's what you need to do first. Go watch all these videos. And she came back a couple hours later. She said, okay, what's next? I said, now share this link with everybody you know. And she started doing that. And now she has people in process. And within the next 30 days or so, she'll have people coming out the other end, signing up and getting a miner. I'm confident in that because the numbers are the numbers are the numbers, right? I have another guy, really good friend of mine, struggling with technology. I tried to tell him not to do it because you have to be technical with this stuff, right? You got to log in and potentially trading coins and all this stuff. That didn't deter him, Tom. He came to your meeting a couple of times.
Yeah, I know you're talking about now. Yep.
He came to your meeting a couple of times. He's been putting people in the process before he was even a minor. He didn't have a minor. He was just telling people about it. His first transaction, Tom, was a 5-pack.
Was that part of the silver I got?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So, yeah, ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice, right? So, thank you for that. I don't see any other questions, and we're kind of getting close to the top of the hour. I want to finish this out. Thank you so much, Thomas, for coming on to bless us with your words of wisdom. I really appreciate you.
Absolutely.
I'm going to close this out, guys, and then we will say our goodbyes. All right. Let me see here.
Thank you all for having me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Tom. Yes.
Look, folks, this is simple. You've heard from the experts. This is really simple to do. You go to mindtxe.com is the corporate website. That's where you can go get some pretty much an overview of the company. You can go to help.mind.txe, get your questions answered, like Thomas said. And if you don't know how to get to either one of those, you can go to texitallstars.com because we have links to those two. Plus, there's a generic introduction to Texit. There's several videos up there, short videos for you to get more information. Plus, it's our team website to help you with different tools. Man, it's really easy. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching this tonight. Get on this rocket ship with us. It's going to be fun. We've got about maybe a year left, maybe less. So now probably less. So now is the time. And you guys have a great evening. We'll talk to you. Bye-bye for now.
God bless you all.
Bless you.
Bless.